All right, I finally got this working. Hello, everybody. Doing a little garden cleanup. Decided to test out this live business. Got a lot of leaves and stuff here that I didn't clean up last summer. The end of last summer, I should say. So here I am. Ugh. Now pray for me that I don't run into like a raccoon baby or something underneath these planters, because that would be the end of me. Okay. All right, who do we got here? Ooh, hello. Raul says, where are you from? I'm from Toronto. Yeah, Raul, I have lots of raccoons in this backyard. Hi, Bob. How is my day going? Well, I'm in zone 6. I'm here in Toronto, Canada, and it is a gorgeous day. It's like 16 degrees Celsius, which is about, I don't know, 60 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that for you people that are not on the Celsius tip. But yeah, I'm cleaning out some of the mess that I didn't clean out last year after my long winter. Absolutely. So back there over my shoulder, you can see part of my garden. Not too bad. But here I'm up on the spot where I have all my planters and where I do, you see? Can you see all those leaves there? That's what I'm trying to clean up right now. Tina Schmidt. Hi, Tina Schmidt. And Tommy says, peace from Poland. You're in Europe. Hey, Tommy from Poland. How are you? David Rex, can you call my name, please? David Rex. Hi. That's kind of weird, David Rex. Do you have a little fascination when people call your name? What's up with that? I can't pronounce this name. Europe something says hello from Moscow at night. Wagwan, Moscow. Yeah, Raul, it is a lot of work to do, but us gardeners thrive on this type of stuff. That means that spring is around the corner and I get to go into my garden just now. Go Goated says, you look like you don't have any likes, but don't worry. You know, I don't know. I'm not doing it for the likes. I just thought I'd come on and talk to you guys. I've never gone live like this up and down by myself before. So, new year, new things. So I thought I would come and talk to you all. So why don't you be the first one to give me the like then? And then maybe everybody else is going to follow suit. So do you guys have gardens that you have to clean up? What's going on? Tell everybody. Go goats. Tell them to come. Tell them there's a poor soul here and she has no likes and you need to come and give them some likes. Nice to meet you too, Raul. Nice to meet you too. Whoa. Mehmet is here from Turkey. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Mehmet is from Turkey. Raul is in India, says it's winter there in India. Okay. Go Goat says, hello, I just got here and you're better than all of the live streams. I appreciate your work. Why, thank you, sir. And Bush says, hi, that they're watching from Bahamas. Hey, I have some respect for your Prime Minister Mia Mottley there. I believe that's Bahamas. Like her. I like how tough she is. Tell them that you do it for the love, not the likes. That's right. We do it for the love of gardening, not the likes around here, okay? Mehmet is saying that he's from Turkey and throwing up his flags. And Maritza is agreeing. Joshua Gabriel is saying hi Z, hi Nino and Lo. Oh, and Nino's tuned in. He's at AC and he says I'm doing an awesome job. Well, you know, this is my second attempt. I was trying to do it before and I couldn't get all the stuff right. So now I've got it going. And Raul says gardening is a matter of love and a hobby. That's true. Because your work is never done when you're gardening. So you have to love it or else you're not going to do it. But I have lots of plants that I can't wait to get out. But for now, I got to do some cleanup before I can do all that stuff, right? So I'm going to flip you guys around as I go in that corner. It is a beautiful early spring day here in Tirana. So we got to take advantage of it and come out and clean up and do as much as we can, because something tells me that we're going to get another snow before spring really gets here. That's my opinion anyway. What do we got here? Bush is saying she's from Barbados. Oh, she's from Barbados and you're Bahamas. Okay, my bad, but I still love her. She's a very strong woman. Absolutely. Can you give me a shout out? Christina Barros. Where are you from, Christina? Hello, nice to meet you. And Raul says beware of snakes. We don't really have snakes. Maybe garden snakes, but I've never seen one out here. But if I did, they'd have to take the whole garden. Trust and believe, I wouldn't be out here if we had snakes. Mehmet, you have to speak English, my friend. I don't understand what you're saying. And Trans Kids Rule says, hi, my toddler decided to come out as trans. Can you please give me advice? Sorry, Trans Kids Rules. I don't know what to tell you about that one. That's above my garden pay grade. But good luck with that.
Where's Poppy Top?
I don't know. Went to the front, I think. You see all these leaves? It's crazy. And these are just the leftovers. And this is the area that I do a lot of planting and stuff, so I want to get these wet leaves up off the ground. Raul's thumbs up. Mehmet, you gotta write English, my friend, so that we can all understand what you're saying. And Nino's saying hello to everybody. Ooh, I got 10 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Keep them coming. Gosh. Mehmet is from Turkey. Wow. These leaves are wet and heavy. Oh, yuck. Any gardeners in the chat? Where's all the gardeners? Anybody in here doing any gardening? Got lots of old pots here. What kind of plants are you planning to plant? Well, funny you should ask. I got lots of flowers. I got my roses. I got my hydrangeas. But right now I'm growing some geraniums inside. I got a whole host of peppers and tomatoes. Some snapdragons, a whole bunch. If you want to see what my garden looks like, you can check out some of my videos if you're not already subscribed to me. But I have a whole garden back here. Oh, Nino's saying to hit the like button and show some love. Yeah, this year I think we're going to plant more vegetables because food is far too expensive, you know. And with what's going on in the world, we have to be prepared. I mean, tomatoes are pretty easy to grow, and peppers, and those do pretty well. And this year I'm going to try and grow my own Scotch bonnet peppers, those hot peppers. Because we always buy them already started, but this year I got a hold of some seeds, so I'm going to try and start those myself. And I want to grow some strawberries, but I got to figure out a way to make sure that we get to the strawberries before the critters out here get to them. Oh! Maurizia just subscribed. Thank you so much. And she's going to share. Thank you, Maurizia. Hello, where are you from? And do you like gardening? Tell me. And even if you're a beginner, no worries, because I'm not an expert. I just started doing this maybe about 4 years ago, and I fell in love with gardening, and here I am, still going strong. I mean, there's lots of us here on YouTube that are willing to share what we know, and there's always somebody here willing to teach and to show you what to do. Even if all you have is a few containers, plant a few containers, you'll be good. Maurizia is saying connecting. Yes, I love gardening, and so does my sister. Oh, nice. And what zone are you in? Are you in a cold climate, or are you in a warm place? I'm still learning too. I'm still learning too. Don't you worry about that. It takes a little bit of time to really understand what we're doing out here. But the good thing is, once you start getting some success and you start getting some fruit and some harvest from your garden. So you're in a cold climate like me. I'm in Toronto, so I'm in zone 6. So right now, it's too cold to be planting outside. So most of my stuff that I've started from seeds. So what I'm doing now is just kind of cleaning up all the leaves and stuff. And the funny thing is, I don't have any trees on my property per se. All the trees are from the neighbors around. But we don't have any trees in the backyard, but we get all the nice shade and leaves. And these are the little spikes that we keep around in all the little nooks and crannies to try and keep the critters out, but I don't think it works. But it makes me feel better to put them there anyhow. So I'm out here on this gorgeous day getting a little work in. I think we're getting fooled by this early spring-like weather, though, because I don't think it's going to stick around. I really don't think it's going to stick around. Everything out here is pretty wet and mucky. I should show you a little bit of what I'm dealing with here. Let me spin the camera. Actually, how do I, oh, there we go. I'm going to spin the camera and show you what it looks like. So this area here is kind of where I plant my peppers and tomatoes and stuff. Maurizia says we're going to have some cold coming and snow this weekend in Connecticut. See, I don't think that this is it. I think we're going to get some snow soon too, but at least I can clean up some of these leaves. See, this is where I had my tomatoes. So I want to clean up all those leaves and stuff on the ground. Sorry, I'm probably moving my camera a little fast. And I have my winter sowing jugs there. Can't wait till those pop up. And this is my backyard. See, this is the backyard. So all along that back fence there, all along there, all my plants are kind of starting to wake up. And then I garden all along this fence line, all the way to the gate and beyond is where my garden is. So everything seems to be coming back nicely. Like, look at that. See, there's signs of life in this garden. I just love it. But I got to do some trimming of certain things. Like, look at this. See, I don't know if it'll focus for you, but there are little buds on this rose. And the spikes there are deadly, but it's come back. I got some irises over there. Look at that. Look at this. This is a boxwood hedge. Sorry for my shadow. That did not succumb to the boxwood moth. I'm still hoping and praying that it stays good. My climbing rose I have to prune. It's really grown. My hydrangea bush. Like, there's signs of life out here, guys. Oh, wow. There's buds on my hydrangea. You probably can't see them, but there's buds there. So, yeah. I'm out here trying to get the garden at least cleaned up. Because I think it's a little early, like I said, to be in the garden beds. Digging stuff up, and the insects are still kind of hibernating, although I've seen a lot of flying insects out here, which is a good sign for spring. But today I'm kind of just concentrating on the cleanup because there's so many leaves here. So if I can at least get these leaves cleaned up, then I would be ahead of the game. I would be ahead of the game. Now, who's out there in the weeds? Who's out there? My counter says I got a few people here, but nobody's talking to me. I can't be out here talking to myself. Come out, say hi, tell me where you're watching from. This is very satisfying. It's work, but it's satisfying. Ooh. These leaves are pretty wet and heavy. Let's see. Oh, Maritzia says she's still learning and she's cold. We're going to have some cold. I read that. Maritzia says, so sorry. Nino says he's looking to get his snow tires off this weekend. Well, don't take them off too quickly because something tells me we're not finished with the snow. Maritzia says, I was scrolling, you were scrolling and it came upon your page and I need to go through your videos to see. Oh, I hope you go through my videos and you'll see what my garden looks like. I'm very proud of that garden. More about you and what you do to get some insight and learn more about gardening. Yeah. The channel is called Nino and Lo, so there's two of us. There's myself and my husband. He does the cooking, I do the gardening. And then we also do what's called the Informer window, where we kind of go live and we just talk about all things and have fun and laugh and do all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of fun over here, all positive vibes. So I'm glad you found me today while you were scrolling. And I'm glad I came on live today because today was too good of a day to waste sitting indoors, I must say. It's way too nice of a day. Now in Connecticut, are you having nice weather in Connecticut today? What's it like in Connecticut today? I would think that you are pretty similar to our weather. I've never been to Connecticut. Yeah, that's good. Who else is here? Say hi to me and Maritzia. Maritzia, I think that's how you say your name. Today is almost 70 and I haven't started gardening yet or to clean my yard. Hopefully this weekend it doesn't get too cold. See, that's the thing. I'm just afraid that this weather is it's gonna get cold and before you know it, there's another pile of snow and we have to wait for all that snow to melt before we can get out here. So you gotta strike while the iron is hot. Today is far too good of a day to waste. So as I'm looking around, I'm trying to think in my mind where I'm going to plant what. I mean, these here, these raised bins, traditionally is where I've been planting my tomatoes and my peppers, and I have some other containers where I've planted like beans and onions and stuff like that, because I don't really plant in the garden in the ground, and that's because we have so many raccoons and possums and all that kind of stuff, and they're going to eat the produce before we get there because they kind of hang out more to the back of the garden. They don't really come up here on the side patio. So we tend to plant stuff in containers here, which is what I think we're probably going to do again this year. So I mean, it's been working so far, right? So if it's working, why not continue? And I got to decide. I have so many containers and little pots over the years from plants that I've had. So I got to figure out what I want to keep. And it's starting to get to be a bit much with all this stuff to store. But, you know, it's all gardening. What can I say? So what's your day been like today, Maritzia? Looks like it's you and me, kid. It's just you and me here talking to each other, which is fine. I don't mind talking to you. Because if it's 70 degrees, are you inside? Are you outside? Did you work today? What did you do? Look at that. One bag down. One whole bag down. That's good. One bag down. Ooh. Look at all of this. bucket of water here. Just okay. Oh, this stuff is really wet now. Oh, you're at work and it's a little slow. No, I'm not on the phone, but today I am, and I'm glad. Oh, you're at work. Well, nice of you to tune in and talk to me while you're at work. I know sometimes work gets boring. Well, maybe, hopefully this weekend, you can get out into your garden and start prepping the foundation for what you got to do. I can't believe how wet it is back here. I gotta power wash these stones. Well, who am I fooling? Not me. I ain't power washing it. Nino can power wash it. But gotta get these stones looking a lot nicer than they do. All this mud from the leaves. Okay. Let me get another bag. Well, at least I'm glad I haven't seen any signs of anything making a mess over the winter back here, because I tell you, these raccoons are relentless. This is my little greenhouse here, and I meant to take it in for the winter and I didn't, and it held up very nicely, so I'm not too mad at that. Just one of these kind of flimsy plastic ones, but it held up nicely under all of that snow. Okay, everything in there is intact. So when I'm ready to put my seedlings out, the ones that are inside under grow lights, they're gonna come here. And this spot gets some nice morning sun. So let me just move this back a little bit. I'm making progress. I'm making progress. Ugh. These are sopping wet. Okay. Let's get rid of this water. you have a lot of squirrels that are in your area. So do we, but it's not the squirrels. The squirrels don't really, I mean, the squirrels bother the tulips. That's why I don't really plant tulips in the garden anymore. I just mostly plant them in pots. But the squirrels don't really dig up my stuff. It's the raccoons right now are getting to the grubs in the grass. And I mean, so far I've been pretty lucky. They haven't really come up to kind of pick at the tomatoes or the peppers, but we have a lot of them around and they're very protected. Like, you're not allowed to harm them at all. You can get a serious fine over here if you mess with a raccoon. So you better not, you better know what you're doing. You're allowed to relocate them, but not very far. So they don't want you to move them very far. Who do I got here? Oh, Journey. Hey, Journey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm just out here trying to do some work in my garden, and I thought I would jump on a live. And Real Talk is here. Hey, Lo. She says, hey, Pastor Nash. I'm just out here doing a little cleanup, and I thought I would switch on my live. Yeah. Trying to be a YouTuber, you know. So I'm a little bit nervous because in all these little crevices here, you know, I might unearth a skunk or something, or a raccoon baby. But so far so good. I haven't come across anything scary, because if I do, they have to take this whole garden, because that's it for me. I ain't coming back out here. But so far so good. I'm cleaning up these leaves because it's such a nice day here. Now both of you are in Toronto. You know how nice the weather is. What did you guys do today? Did you go to work? Did you get to enjoy the weather? This is such nice weather for us here in Toronto, so I'm sure most of us at least spent a little time outside. And Nino's saying hi to everybody. He's at work, guys. Okay. So far, so good. Real Talk is saying, I really need to have you guys on Real Talk. Oh, you're at work. Listen, Pastor Nash, you make me afraid to come on Real Talk because you really talk the things over there. But yes, we're going to come on soon. We got to hook that up. You got to tell us when. Nino saying that would be awesome at Real Talk. You know, listen, Real Talk, Pastor Nash over there, she don't play. She's talking the things on her program, right? Okay. She's a pastor and she'll pray for you and she'll teach you about the Bible and scripture, but she's talking about the topics, okay? I'm telling you. And Pastor Nash and Nino and I, we all went to school together. So we've known each other since we were kids. It's so funny to think that you're still in contact with your school, the people that you went in school. And I'm not even talking about high school. This was before high school, right? But it's good. It's a good thing. I have a whole bag of leaves picked up so far. Okay, so I'm counting on you, Miss Vivian, to let us know. Oh, Nino's saying, come with taught the things. He's ready. Yeah, since grade school we've known each other. So we'll come on and we'll taught the things for true. Look at that. I've cleaned all the leaves that were in here. I'm doing a good job, guys. I'm doing a good job getting my garden ready to go. getting everything. I have so many of these little pots, but you know what? They come in handy when you start seeds and you start little seedlings. They do come in handy. And I have to put up all these little things from all the little nooks and crannies because I don't want these goddamn raccoons and skunks crawling under all my little crevices here to make a nest. So I put these things up so they can't get in there. I don't know how well they work, but they make me feel better for sure. Oh, this is not working. Oh, God. Okay. There we go. God almighty. All right, that's good enough. I will give you guys a heads up first on the topic so that we will be prepared. Well, thank you very much, Pastor Nash, because you have no inhibitions, which is how it should be. You know, this is 2025. We don't just want to be preached at. We want to, you know, have some understanding. We want the topics. We want it all. Right? So we have to set that up for sure. We got to set it up. So I'm at the side of the house here. And I'm just trying to clean up. You see, like piles of leaves like that. I'm not even going into the backyard right now. Just trying to get all this stuff looking good. Because this year we plan to go back to what we used to do with our barbecues and all that kind of stuff. Haven't had one. We didn't have one last year, which is very strange because we usually do, but you know what? There is a time and place. Sometimes you just gotta take a rest from certain things. And we did take a rest from YouTube for a while, but we're back with a vengeance. I think this plant is dead here, but you know what? We'll see. Well, thanks for joining me, whoever's here still. I know Real Talk is here. Journey just popped in and said hello. I had our friend from Connecticut here. She's at work. So I am so glad that you guys took the time to pop in to say hello. Now this was a rose, but something tells me this is a dead rose, but we'll see. We'll give it a minute and see what happens. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, oh well, we'll get another one. I'm not letting anything get me too upset in this garden this year. I'm going with the flow. You know, it is what it is. Life is too short to make something like that mess with my feng shui. Right? In the last, I don't know, month or so, we've been just getting bad news left, right, and center from people that are passing away, that shouldn't be passing away, that are in the prime of their lives, you know? So you got to take it easy, people. You can't stress over little nonsense things. As a matter of fact, I know this thing's alive. Let me just, oh, where did I put my clippers? Ah. Yeah, here they are. Life is too short to stress over the little things, right? So this thing is full of thorns. So I'm just gingerly cutting it down because I don't want to get snagged. Ooh, I think it's still alive because I see some green in there. This is a barberry bush, a Japanese barberry bush. And for any of you that know what a barberry bush is, it's all about the thorns. And part of the reason why I bought this barberry bush was to plant it where the raccoons frequent, in a corner of my garden, to kind of deter them from climbing the fence and coming through. So in case you're wondering why the heck I would buy such a thing, that's why. If you live in the suburbs, then you know the struggle is real when it comes to raccoons tearing up your property. Oh, oh, yuck. All right. It's still dormant. See, this is what it looks like. You see all those what look like dead branches? They're full of thorns. So, oh, awful. I have to be so careful. Oh. I might get some more banana plants. I had some ornamental bananas. I mean, they don't give me any yield, but I really like the leaves. I had some 2 years ago, and I let the winter take them because I didn't want to bring them inside. But I've decided my motto for gardening this year is plant more, spend less. And I'm going to do a lot more to protect the plants that I have, possibly bring them inside, because, you know, I was more worried about bringing the bugs in. But you end up spending a lot of money on plants. And when you spend so much money on plants, you know, it's so hard to have the cold weather take them. So, and I'm not blessed to have a greenhouse that operates year round. So, but you know, you live and learn with gardening. So I'm going to start to work on saving a lot more of the plants that I have out here, you know, which I think is a good plan. So I'm not sure if this barberry bush is still alive, but I'm gonna keep trimming it up here, give it a little water, and see what happens. I really should have planted it out last fall, but you know, life gets to life in and you don't get to certain things. It is what it is. I'm not gonna stress over it now. But my goodness, these spikes. Oh, I think it's still alive. I see little buds, but let me just trim it down so it doesn't have to work so hard. I don't know if anyone's listening to me, but I'm going to keep talking. So funny when you're on these lives. You feel like you're just talking to yourself. But for people like me that like to talk, I guess it's okay. I can hear the kids out front on the street. It's always nice. You always know spring is near when you hear the street filling up with the laughter of little kids. And we've lived in this house for a while, so a lot of the kids have grown up and have their own kids and come back to their parents' house with their own families now, so it's kind of cool. It is kind of cool. All right, I think this is good enough. Oh, God. I think this looks good now. Now I put this barberry bush right in front of my winter sowing so that if any raccoons come to mess with these and push them over, they're gonna have an easy time of it. Maurizia says she's here and she's listening. And Real Talks, Pastor Nash is listening. Nino says, I really like that. Plant more and spend less. More money for my golfing habit. Well, that's not really what I was. This is what I've trimmed it down to. So let's hope there's still a little bit of life in it. And we get the plant back. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be saying all summer long. Plant more, spend less. I've spent so much money on plants just to have them for one short planting season. We're not doing that anymore. There's ways that you can take cuttings, and I'm going to explore all of that. I've already started taking cuttings from my geraniums, and I had put some of my geraniums to sleep. It's funny, I never knew about that. I finally learned about how to put geraniums to sleep and wake them back up in the spring. I just did a video on that, Maurizia. If you want to learn about that, you can watch the video. Now, mind you, the geraniums look like they're dead, but they're not dead. And those plants are not cheap. And if you keep them from year to year and you overwinter them, they grow to be such big, nice plants, and they give you gorgeous flowers for years. I don't know why I never put all this stuff away, but you know, near the end of the summer, you're a little tired, it gets cold quicker than you think, and you really, there's so much to do to close up the garden, pack everything up. And it doesn't matter what you do in this backyard, there's always going to be leaves. We have some huge oak trees on my neighbor's property there. There we go. And I had my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I don't know how I'm getting a call, but live and learn. Maybe next time I'll just turn it off outright. I'm surprised I only got one call because my phone never seems to stop ringing, it seems. Listen, those barbecues are it, because when we have those barbecues, that's when Nino cooks like you wouldn't believe. And we have a lot of the old friends that you probably know will be here. So we usually have a couple. So I'm sure you'll be able to make it to one or two. I forgot I had my coffee there. Just so you guys know, I'm addicted to coffee basically. But that's okay. You gotta have a vice. At least I'm not a drinker. No shade to drinkers. I mean, in moderation, it's fine. And I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying, I'm a coffee girl. So my goal was to just clean up the side yard today because I'm not trying to overdo it. I'm just doing a little leaf cleanup. I'm not going into the garden at all. Just doing a little sweeping up of leaves. Because I think if you try to do too much too fast, it gets quite overwhelming. And I'm not trying to be overwhelmed at all. All these pots were full of beautiful plants that just disintegrated in the cold. Just disintegrated. But in a couple weeks, this whole side yard here is going to be full of plants. Full of plants. Because this is where I kind of keep them until it's time to plant, you see. All right. Now we're going to tackle this side. Look at this mess over here. Sorry if I'm turning that a little bit too fast. All right. Let me get the broom. Let me bring you a little bit closer. Wow, look at this. You see? Certain plants do so well. This is an ivy here. You see the green? That's an ivy. And ivy is notorious for surviving anything. So I'm very glad to see that my ivy is still here and going strong. And I will just keep taking little cuttings from this ivy and make more plants and use it as a trailer in some of my pots. Now what is this? Oh, this is a garden phlox. This is probably gonna, oh, it's already waking up. I see a piece of it already waking up. See, a lot of these plants, they do come back every year, the perennials. This one I can see some green, and this is a beautiful color. It's almost like a iridescent pink. It's so bright and shocking. That's why I bought it. And I don't know why on earth I haven't planted this thing out in all this time. But this plant is gorgeous, and I can see that it's still alive. I can see down in the plant here that there's a lot of green in there. So I'm glad to see that, because I would be very sad if I killed this plant unnecessarily. I'm just gonna put it in a little water here so it gets a little drink. And I believe this is dead, but hey, let's trim it up and see what happens. Where is my clippers? Oh. This is another rose. Actually, I see green, so it's not totally dead. Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened to me at the end of season last, but I just left a lot of things out here. But like I said, new season, new attitude, right? Spend more, spend less, plant more. Let me grab the bag. Oh, but it feels good to be out here. After being cooped up all winter long, oh my goodness, especially when I see all my American garden friends out there. They've been out in their gardens for weeks now, despite having that freak snowstorm. And we've just been so cooped up here. Oh my goodness. This is my Zephrine Druin rose, and it's still alive because I see some nice green stems. So I'm just gonna cut off the obvious dead stems so that it's not working so hard to stay alive. And this rose is thornless, which is why I bought it in the first place. And I scoured the whole city for this bloody rose, and I never planted it. I don't know why, but beautiful rose. Yes, guys, give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. I would appreciate it, because you know YouTube likes all that stuff. The dreaded algorithm lets YouTube know that people are appreciating what you're doing. Wow, I can't believe through all that winter, this little rose is still full of green in it. See, it has has all these leaves that I'm going to take off, but they're still like green in the stems like this here. So this is still alive, my friends, still alive. And I'm going to plant it out soon because this has to go into the ground now. It's been in this pot now for a whole year where it should have been planted out last year. I don't know why I didn't put it in the ground, but at least it's still with me, so I'm very happy for that. Thank you, little Rose. You have to get the grass tended to because I'm seeing some damage from some grubs, which are those June beetles that are coming up to the surface of the grass right now. And all the raccoons and the possums are digging up the grass to get to these juicy little morsels that they like to eat. But in the process, what it does is tear up your grass. And Nino works on that grass an awful lot. So, and you know, for the most part, the grass looks pretty damn good. But this time of year, you really have to get out there and treat your lawn and put that stuff on there, or else good luck with the grubs. And in June, they turn to June beetles. You know, those big fat flying beetles that when you're out in the evenings, they want to fly into your face and into your mouth. Farming on the Rocks. I was just at your live today. Hi. Hi, Marie. How are you? I guess you finished dividing up your okra seeds. Well, I'm out here. It was a gorgeous day here in Toronto, so I decided to come out and do a little cleanup. And in the process, I found a little rose of mine here, and I decided to just clean it up a little bit. But it's getting a little chilly, but for us, this is good weather. Unseasonably good weather, I think. I think it's fooling us a little bit, and we're going to get another little bout of snow. But it's still a little early for me to be into my garden beds, but I am cleaning up all these dead leaves and all my, I do have some containers. Not as many as you have, but I'm counting on you to guide me through planting more vegetables in containers. Although we have garden space, but I don't most of that garden space is taken up with my flowers, and I don't want to plant in the garden space because too many pests are out there, and I don't want them digging up my nice flowers. So we have these raised kind of beds that we use for our tomatoes and the peppers and that kind of stuff. All right, that's good enough for that. So I'm out here, Marie. Oh, you got me, eh? Okay, that's good. Because I want to plant some okra because we've been drinking a lot of okra water lately. And I want to plant some okra. I understand that it will do well in a container. So I'm going to plant some of that. I've never planted that before. Because, you know, what's the point of planting all this stuff that you don't eat? So I've never planted like cauliflower, although I eat cauliflower, but I mean, all that stuff takes up a lot of space, and the yield that you get, I want to plant vegetables that are going to get me a decent yield that I can have all summer long, because our planting season is so short. So I'm going to do tomatoes, and I want to do some pole beans and some peppers, of course. I got my hands on some Scotch bonnet pepper seeds, so I'm going to plant those. I want to do okra. I want to do some strawberries, but I have to figure out how I'm going to protect those from the raccoons. Marie is saying it will definitely do well in a container. Okay, good. Now I have some seeds, so I'm gonna plant those up. I have to read to see whether or not I can plant them inside. I think from what I've read, it says that it's probably better to just start them outdoors because they can take a little bit of a cool weather or something like that. But I'm gonna double check on those. But I planted my Scotch bonnet seeds indoors because usually we do grow one or two of those plants and we might get one or two little peppers from them. But we usually buy the ones that are already started, but this year I want to give it a try, planting my own that I start. So yeah, this is the year of planting more vegetables. So I'm gonna really research and figure out what vegetables are going to be worth it for me to plant that are going to give me a good yield. Because what's the point of planting a broccoli, for instance? You're going to get a plant that's going to take up so much room, it's going to grow so much, and then you get this little broccoli head. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Oh yes, so you're saying that the okra seeds are better directly sowed. See? So I think I'll wait a little bit, because see here, I don't know how well you can see this, but this is one of the raised beds. I have two here, and I was thinking of getting another two, but this is where I do most of my planting. So I can, I can amend the soil here. This little area here, let me back up. I don't know if you can see. It's a pretty big space. It's pretty junky right now because I have a lot of pots. But this is the little area that I kind of work at on the side of the house with my greenhouse. Where is it? In the back there. Here, the green. And then out there, the shed and all my garden space that goes all the way up the side of the house and all the stuff for the patio. So once the weather warms up a little bit more and we officially open the backyard, it'll all make sense. But for now, I'm just kind of cleaning up my working space at the side here and getting myself prepared because it's too early. The soil is I think it's still a little cool for certain things, but at least it's not frozen, right? So that is one good thing. But all these leaves left over from fall, they got to get out of here because they're just wet and not looking nice. Well, I have a few people here that are in the weeds, which is fine too, but I wish you would come out and say hello to me and we can have a conversation. And I'm getting a few hearts, and thank you very much for the hearts. And I have 15 thumbs up. It gets moldy with his knee, don't they? Oh, I don't know what you mean. It gets moldy with his knee, don't they? Are you talking about the leaves get moldy? Because these leaves are pretty, some of them are pretty moldy. And usually my area over here is not this messy. But like I said, we didn't do a lot of cleanup. We just left everything the way it was. Like this, I believe there is a lily bulb in here, if I'm not mistaken. But I try my best not to disturb too many things because my memory is not the best. So I don't remember what was in every pot. So I don't want to be digging things up too much. Let me sit down and do this. Guys, I'm blind. I'm half blind. So as I'm looking here, I can't even read. Farming on the Rocks says you will be able to fully enjoy your garden soon. Oh, I'm telling you, Marie, I can't wait to get out there. I do have a lot of seeds that I've started inside, which is what we have to do on this side. Because our season is so short, if we wait until our last frost date, and our last frost date here in Toronto is May the 24th, if you can believe that. Or some people are saying now it's moved back a little bit because now instead of a zone 5, we're a zone 6. I think that's all due to global warming, but I would say you're not safe to plant your plants outdoors, like your tender crops, like your tomatoes and stuff, till like near the end of May, because we still get frost sometimes that late. And who wants to grow something from seed inside just to have the frost kill it as soon as you plant it outside? So, Maritzia says it gets moldy. Yeah, it does get moldy with the leaves on the ground. And this stone, although I kind of like it, I don't know. Let me flip the camera and see if you can see what happens. See, in between the stones here, we get the moss growing. I like it though. You see here by the barbecue, we get the moss growing. That stuff I will take out, and like that weed there. But I like that. It gives it character. So I don't mind that at all. And see the trees? Like, we don't have trees on our property, but these are the trees that I see from my bedroom window. Gorgeous trees. And when they're all leafed out, we're kind of tucked in our backyard here, even though, as you can see, we don't have trees on the property, right? No trees on the property. We had a few smaller ones, but we got rid of them when we kind of redid the backyard. All right, so we have all these big, beautiful trees that kind of surround us and they cocoon us in. And these two giants are evergreen and it's just beautiful here. But in the fall, there's two of them there. And one of them is like a multi-trunk. And those are oak trees. And when those let go of their leaves, because they're deciduous, my whole backyard is full of leaves. It's full of leaves. It is beautiful, I'm telling you. And you see here, like I have my pots I have to clean up. And see the patio furniture, we kind of opened this gazebo, so we have to clean all that up. I had some cherry tomatoes that were planted. Sorry, I have you guys all over the place. Lots of work. Yes, Bush, it's lots of work. See, I have another ivy here that's still alive, doing well, but I have lots of stuff here. Like this is a lavender bush I have to cut back. This is my dwarf maple here, and it's all budded up. That's doing nicely. All these plants. This is a hydrangea. I have to trim that. And see, things are starting to bud. This is a lilac. All right, Marie, thanks for joining me. Take care. Marie's got, guys, please tune into Farming on the Rocks. That's Marie, and she does container gardening in Jamaica. And she is wonderful. She is so knowledgeable. Yes, Bush. We do get a lot of sun. Thanks for joining me, Marie. Look at the buds on my rhododendron. That's going to bloom shortly, but I keep the garden leaves. It's a little bit too early to take all those out. So those, everything here is still kind of covered. It's kind of protecting. See, like, look at this rose. That's a climbing rose here. And when that fills in, it kind of fills in all in here with pink roses. Really nice. And this here is kind of my shade garden. I'll do a better video at some point and show you guys what I'm working with. But all of this brown space is full of perennials, and they will all start to leaf up soon. Like here, you see? I don't know if you can see that, but I think that's a peony, and that's starting to bud up there. There's my little granddaughter there playing, making up lots of noise. But yeah, that's a little quick tour. This plant here is called a Japanese purus, and it's an evergreen, and we planted it. It was a tiny little thing. There's another one down there, And look how beautiful it is. It's like it glows. It is gorgeous. It makes you feel like it's spring. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. All right, I'm going to get back to my little corner here. That was a quick little look-see of what I'm working with. I'll flip the camera back around. So in a couple weeks, I will really get into the garden beds and clean it up a lot better. But I don't want to do it too early and then, you know, damage the tender new plants that are coming up. So for now, I'm going to concentrate on the cleanup, the dreaded cleanup. So I'm just going to do this little area here and then I'm going to be done for the day because I'm not trying to stress myself. Just doing a little bit at a time, right? There's no set. This is not a race. Gardening is supposed to be enjoyable, right? Supposed to be enjoyable. And I think I did pretty good today. Got a lot done. Let me pick up this heavy pot. Oh. All right, well, I think I will sign off. I'm just gonna pick up these little bit of leaves and then I'm gonna run in the house. So I just want to thank you guys for joining me for my live. And Maurizia, it was very nice to meet you. And Bush 1083, it was very nice meeting you. And thanks for hanging out with me. And I hope that I can show you a little thing or two from what I've learned over the years of gardening. And I can show you how my backyard is going to go from this ugly brown to a beautiful, beautiful sanctuary. And you'll stick with me. Real Talk says, my theme for you in Real Talk will be my endless love. Well, listen to you. Oh my goodness, you're gonna make me blush, Miss Vivian Nash. Oh my God. So I appreciate you, and I will go back to see all the videos you have. Thank you, Maurizia. Really nice meeting you. And please tune in to Real Talk with Pastor Nash. She's on the live here now. Like I say, she really talks the talk. So, and she wants us on our show, so you might see me over there. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.